Thank you very much, Madam Chair, and thank you to the witnesses for coming today and to testify before the committee. But before I get started, I want to just thank you for your service to students and to the university community. Dr. Nadell, this question is for you. I'm glad, first of all, to see another Buckeye here, House State. But as a former professor at a small college in North Carolina, Bennett College, for over 40 years I taught there, I am deeply disappointed by the rise of anti-Semitism rhetoric that's happening across the country. Anti-Semitism has no place on our college campuses or anywhere. And it's been my mission to combat instances of anti-Semitism and hate and racism alike. There are Jewish students across this country that are afraid to leave their dorms, afraid to step on campus because of the hateful rhetoric that's infiltrated our schools. So this question is to actually all the presidents, but I did want Dr. Nadell to answer first. Students should be able to express their views and opinions without fear of retaliation. How are you balancing the protection of free speech, academic freedom, with the need to also oppose normalizing anti-Semitism attitudes that are radical and dangerous? And if we could just briefly answer that, I want to hear from the presidents on this.
Sure. So just briefly, obviously, we need to protect free speech, but we also need to protect the safety of our students on campus. And you use the word normalizing anti-Semitism, and the problem is anti-Semitism has been normalized in the nation, not just on campus.
Thank you. Dr. Gay?
Thank you. I'd say education is the key here. Making students and frankly the entire campus community more aware of the insidiousness of anti-Semitism so that they're in a position to be able to recognize anti-Semitic tropes when they see them and confront them in the moment.
Thank you.
I appreciate the question. At Penn, our policies are guided by the U.S. Constitution. So our longstanding open expression guidelines follow the Constitution. I think in addition to education, which I agree with, so that students and faculty and staff can identify and combat anti-Semitic tropes in speech, I think it's important to call out anti-Semitism in a very visible and public way and a specific way in order to make clear how it's contrary to the values of the institution, where we're talking about speech alone.
Thank you. So Title VI provisions set the standard for what should be done to address racism, hate crimes, and violence on campuses. Do you think that your DEI departments are equipped with the tools to combat anti-Semitism or hate on your campus? And if not, what changes do you plan to make? This is for all the presidents.
I can jump in here.
Yes.
Yes, so our diversity, equity, and inclusion staff are absolutely charged with making the campus welcoming for all students. And that absolutely includes our Jewish and Israeli students. We absolutely see anti-Semitism as an inclusion issue. We're making sure that our staff who are dedicated to diversity, equity, and inclusion are being trained about anti-Semitism. But it goes well beyond that staff. It's important that our leadership understands anti-Semitism, that our students and faculty understand anti-Semitism. And I'll just say one thing about MIT. We can make as many top-down initiatives as we want, but the heartening thing is that the discussion of anti-Semitism and indeed Islamophobia is now proceeding at a grassroots level.
So can we hear from, thank you very much. Next president.
Our anti-bigotry efforts are also informed by a desire to make certain every person at the university feels welcome and can thrive, and that includes communities of faith and ethnicity. That's the value we have, and we're making sure that is from the top of the organization all through the organization. And I believe over the longer term, that's sort of an immediate action. Over the longer term, making sure the entire community is discussing, understanding, and capable of calling out and combating anti-Semitism when they see it.
Thank you, Madam President.
Our DEI office is a resource for the entire community, and the professionals in that office are committed to ensuring that everyone feels a sense of belonging. But in building on an observation that President Kornbluth made, this is a shared responsibility that doesn't vest strictly in the hands of our DEI professionals, but it really is work that needs to be taken up by the entire community, the leadership for sure, but also the faculty and the students, and also doing the work.
Thank you very much. I'm out of time, Madam Chair. I yield back.